Hello, ELL students. This is your first lesson for week 2. This week, we will be reviewing a lot of information that we've learned already to help us with our learning the next couple of weeks. So today, we're going to spend some time reviewing the plot pyramid. The plot pyramid is something that we learned about during our storytelling unit at the beginning of the school year. So this might be familiar to you and you might need to remember some of this information. So remember, I explained that stories are generally told in the same ways and they follow the same directions. This plot pyramid helps us to understand the directions or the paths that the story takes. So just to review, remember, plot is the order of events or what happens in a story. Whenever you hear someone refer to the word plot, that means what's happening in the story or the order of events. And normally there is the same order, the same direction, the same path, even though the stories are different. So we're going to review these parts of the plot pyramid for our lesson today. In order to be successful today, you should get a piece of paper to copy down these notes, or if you can print this document, which is on my website. Do you have the paper and a writing utensil? Good. So we're going to start by going over the 5 steps of the plot pyramid. The first step is called exposition. The second is rising action. The third is climax. The fourth is falling action. And the fifth is resolution. It always goes in this order. Exposition is the beginning part of a story where we start to learn about the characters, the conflict, the setting, all of the basic information that we need to know in order to understand the story. So for my definition, I'm going to put the part of the story that introduces us to the conflict setting. Remember, conflict is the problems that happen in a story. We talked about internal or inside conflicts and external or outside conflicts. Obviously, we need to learn about the beginning parts of the conflict before we move forward. The conflict is not going to be solved until the end of the story. So right now, we're right here at the plot pyramid, just at the beginning, and we're about to start walking up. The rising action is the part of the story where the conflict starts to become worse or more problematic or cause more problems for the protagonist or main character. So this is the part of the story where conflict or problems worse. This part can be short or it can be long depending on the story. Over time, the conflict gets worse and worse and worse or more difficult until it reaches the point where the main character or the protagonist has to do something. This part is called the climax. The climax is when the conflict is at its worst. It's the highest tension. It's the most stressful. It's leading up to the most action. After this, it starts to change. So this is the part of the story worst. The problems are at their most stressful. After this, the conflict starts to decrease. After the climax, we have to go down the other side of the plot pyramid. And so we go the opposite way that we came in. We came in with a rising action. Now we're going to go down with the falling action. The falling action is the part of the story where the conflict or problems start to get better. And eventually we reach the part that is the resolution. The resolution is where the problem or conflict is resolved. It is solved, and there still might be some other problems that the main character has, but the main conflict, the most important conflict, is done. This is the part of the story where conflict is solved and there may be more conflicts in the future. Things are okay. So it's important that we take these notes so that you have them prepared for when we are looking at fictional stories over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to ask you to engage and to take notes about the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution of a story. If you need to take notes and that you fell behind, please take the notes now by stopping the video and writing them down on paper. Ready to come back? Okay. So to give us practice with this, we're going to look at a chart here, name of the story. So for practice, go ahead and make a chart or a table just like this on the screen and pick a story that you know very well. First, you're going to write down the name of the story, and then you're going to jot down your ideas, jot down or write down your ideas about what parts of the story include the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. I am going to pick, of course, Star Wars: A New Hope. So, in this story, at the exposition, we learn that there is a war between Empire and Rebel elements. Leia Organa needs help from a man, but Luke Skywalker accidentally gets her message dead. Help save Leia from the. That's what we learn in the exposition. In the rising action, Luke forms a team with Ben Kenobi, who is a person in the story, Han Solo, and Chewbacca to Leia. They adventure to get Leia from the Empire. At the climax, Ben Kenobi dies when fighting against Darth Vader, a powerful watches die, and he escapes Han. The following action, the Empire chases after the characters, and Luke has to fight against the Empire to save the Alliance. The resolution: destroys the Empire's battle station, which is like a big ship, a big spaceship, and earns a reward from the Rebel Alliance. Luke and Chewbacca all join the. So this gives us some basic information about the conflict, the main characters, Leia, Luke, Ben, Solo, Chewbacca, and it gives us information about where it gets at its worst and how the conflict gets better over time. So, for the assignment for this lesson, make sure that you finish taking your notes, and then you will go to Flipgrid and you will do the plot pyramid Flipgrid. So I am going to show you where to find the plot pyramid Flipgrid. You are going to go to my website, like you know you should. Share my screen real quick. You're going to go to my website. You're going to go down to week 2, and you're going to get the Flipgrid code down here. And you're going to put it in a web browser. Log in with your school email. And you are going to explain the plot of a story that you chose. If you wanted to, what you just wrote down, you can share on Flipgrid as well, okay? Or you could do a different one, your choice. Please make sure that this is done by Friday. Let me say that one more time. Please make sure that this is done by Friday, May 1st. Awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or ask me in the Zoom meeting about what you should do. You're going to do great. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep your brain exercising too. Bye.